Landlords, tenants, when it comes to pest control, who's going to pay the bill? We're going to talk about it today. New South Wales Property Management, Pest Control.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Cleo, we're here, expert property manager. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. How are we?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm really ready for today. Actually, woke up early. Still not enough time in the mornings, but hey, we're here.
Kids, husband, father, people in the house shouting at your dad to turn out his. If you just missed before, Cleo came on. She's like, "Dad, turn that down." He's on TikTok.
Oh my God, I know that generation. I wonder what we'll be doing at like 76 on our phones, what we'll be watching. But anyway,
Well, if your dad's doing TikTok, far out, we're going to be pretty funky old people. I reckon there's going to be some cool stuff that we're going to be doing.
I hope so. I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. Not,
Yeah, not long now.
not long now. I
Not
know.
long. Not long. I'm 50
You're
this year.
you're closer than me, but only just.
Shit. What happened there? Now, Cleo, this is a bugbear for you as a property manager. Tenants pick up the phone, demand a pest control that come out, and it gets paid for the land by. They assume it gets paid by the landlord. Tenants can contribute to this cause or this need for pest. Where's the fine line on this, and who's responsible for paying pest control?
Yeah, look, something that pretty much gets negotiated either at the start or at the end of the tenancy. Anything in the middle will usually fall on the tenant. You've been in the property 6 months, there hasn't been a history of cockroaches or anything else prior to you moving in. Therefore, we would then say to the tenant, here's some pest people you can use. It's totally up to you. At the start of a tenancy, a landlord should do a pest treatment. It is in the lease agreement that, the premises have to be fit to live in. So if the tenant moves in a week, usually the first few days, and they go, oh my God, there's cockroaches, the landlord would then do a treatment, or we prove that we've done a treatment. Because sometimes these treatments that, they don't work the first time. You've got to do 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And in the start of the tenancy, it would be the landlord. I would like to see a bit more legislation. I know it's a, shot in the dark, but for tenants to have to do a treatment when they vacate. Because a lot of the time during the tenancy, you don't get any reports of there being an issue. Maybe they live with it and then they vacate, and then, sorry, Mr. Landlord, you have to now pay for the treatment because we didn't know that there was an issue. So I'd like to see tenants needing to contribute at the end of their tenancy as well to something like that, especially for cockroaches.
I guess how much of it is how much is it that it's because of food scraps and untidiness, or how much is it pretty obvious?
To be fair, most of the time it comes down to living standards. If you're not clean, the dishwasher, they are a hub around a dishwasher. Behind a dishwasher, anything warm, any fridges, electronics, things like that. I've had properties that have been destroyed by German cockroaches where the owners had to replace all the appliances because they get into the wiring and all that stuff. It's horrific. But it does come down to cleanliness. So if we've done a routine inspection and we've noted the property's not to a standard, that's a red flag to me that at the end of that tenancy or even during, they need to do a treatment. Sometimes Strata does treatments of common areas in a unit block, and they will offer, after the common areas have been treated, if each individual lot or tenant, wants to have that done. Because once that's done in the common area, they tend to crawl into the apartments. They need a new home. So I would always take that up if I was a tenant and you found out that the common areas are treated. They give you a discount. So it might only be $99 to have your unit treated. It's definitely worth it in the long run. However, you also have to be diligent of the properties that you're choosing. If you're living above shops or a cafe, retail space, especially on the northern
Get ready.
beaches, you're gonna have critters. You've just got to know that you've got grease traps, you've got large commercial bin areas, all that sort of stuff that would attract things like that. So you've got to be a bit reasonable. And by the beach, for some reason, I don't know, we tend to have these gigantic cockroaches that are the size of little rats. They're massive, but
Yeah, right.
they're not from they're not from cleanliness. They're just from outside, and they might come in every now and again. They're not, but they are usually in units close to the beach. So,
So, what does it cost for a house to get pest controlled?
a house could be more because there's a lot more areas,
Yeah,
especially if you want them to go into the roof space. You've got gardens, you've got everything. A house could cost anywhere between $300 to $500. And then it depends what kind of pests you want to do an all over pest treatment. That includes
yeah.
spiders and ants. Ants, unfortunately, there's no warranty on ants. They're like a super breed pest. So they will treat it, but there's no guarantee if they come back because they find a way. So,
Wow.
yeah, so
Termites?
termites, totally different kettle of fish. That's done on a baiting system where they bait the termites. They have these areas all around the property, and then those baits get checked every 3 months, every 6 months to ensure that the termite activity has ceased or has at least got better. I had a property in Mona Vale many years ago, and the downstairs area, no one went down there. It was like a basement, and as you went down, there was just this weird smell. It just smelled musty and different, and the steps were sounding a bit more hollow as you went down. Anyway, a more experienced PM at the time, shout out to Mel in those days, she goes, let's lift up the carpet. And she lifted up this carpet down the bottom, and I swear all the floor was like rotten. It had been eaten away by termites. I'd never thought to have looked. And yeah, it was significant
Right.
damage. But then you got M&M. They were a company we used at the time, and they did baiting for 2 years, and it's all good now. It's like
The wrapper.
probably
Yeah.
$5 or $6 million house still.
Far out. So, is it the responsibility of the tenant to keep an eye out for termites, or the property manager, or the landlord on a house?
Yes, so that's where experience comes in. When you're doing an inspection, you need to look for certain things.
Yeah.
Um, Termites do leave a certain trail. Even if you want to Google what it would look like for a wall or wood or something to be eaten away by termites, or early signs, you can notice things like that. Tenants are pretty good. When you're renting a home, you treat it as your own, and so they do let us know when something looks wrong or
We.
different, in which case
Yeah.
then we would come out and get an assessment done for the landlord. All this is tax deductible as well for the client,
Yep.
having these checks. So it is important with a home to get your place checked annually or every couple of years to ensure that you don't have any activity.
But termites would probably be a bit different because they would not be contributing. A tenant can't contribute to
No.
that. It's just, yeah, okay. But I think having trees close to your house is a good idea to get rid of them, just so that
Hmm.
termites aren't hanging around there either.
Yeah, and it's not just termites. Like we've got properties on a bit of acreage that have got big gardens. You got to have that grass well maintained. Vermin's another issue. They
Yeah.
can destroy property very quickly. So there's all these little things in maintaining a property to ensure you're not doing pest control all the time. And
Can you
yeah,
spray for
look.
real estate agents, those pesky real estate agents, to keep them away from your property?
I think they call that the no junk mail on the letterbox.
That's for the real estate agents. That's for the real estate agents.
That's
All right,
it.
Claire. So, great summary today. Good little lowdown for landlords. Good little lowdown for tenants. I think, look, extra care up front is going to save cost to the tenant, cost to the landlord. So, make sure your bins are out every day. Make sure your tops are clean and clear twice a day, and that will start will prevent probably 2/3 of this. But then sometimes you just get the bloody ants or you just get the bloody cockroaches, and then I think it's a battle. It's still not a clear line, is it, between the landlord and the tenant? Do you get it disputed in tribunal ever?
Not particularly. We're pretty good in, flagging these issues. I've not done a pest control case, but I have had a tenant that didn't want to flea treat after having a pet because they said
Please.
they
All
had
right.
tiles, not carpet.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
tiles can still have fleas on them. It's not it's not just a carpet thing. So we did win on that case because they had signed an agreement with the clause to say they'd get it professionally flea treated. So we're going to get
It's
more of this with pets in buildings. The pest companies are going to start having a lot more work on the beaches
yeah. I
because they
didn't
will
think of
be
that.
going in doing these treatments after tenancies. And it's important that they're done because, the next person coming in may not have a pet and they don't want to have to deal with the aftermath of that for sure.
You're a legend, Claire Whitty. Thank you very
Thank
much. Hopefully,
you.
we'll help people out there today. And, if you need good pest people in Northern Beaches, calls, we've got some cracker people who can do the work for you.
We do. See you guys.
You're a legend. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.